Hey, Brandon Bloom here, doing a vlog post, brief video on Be You, because you already have all you need. And it's a very simple message, and I'll go a little bit into depth, but you pretty much got the gist right there. So if you're interested, watch on. Essentially, why I'm coming to this video here now is I had some realizations, and they're cool ones. Well, I'll just give an example. I was kind of sitting there, I was either meditating or just doing whatever, sipping on coffee, whatever I do, and I just kind of like sat and realized, like, oh yeah, I am the universe. Yeah, I was thinking about like gifting, and like gifting crystals to the land or to people, or just giving to people in general. And it was like, there's this kind of interesting thing that always seems to happen where you give things and then the universe kind of gives back. Or like I'll give a crystal away, like a specific type, like tanzanite. And then like a few months later, all of a sudden this like bigger, more awesome tanzanite comes into my life. I'm like, sweet, I just gave that one away. And it's just this really interesting thing that would happen. And I kind of realized, or what I was shown when I was sitting with that, was the universe always knows, because you are the universe and everything is the universe. So when you give to another person, a plant, a situation, you're giving to yourself. And so it always comes back to you. And because it's coming back to you, you're giving to yourself and you're receiving from yourself, I guess, in a way. It's just an interesting kind of realization I had, and it's not always the easiest to articulate in a way where I fully feel like I'm conveying what I received, but hopefully the gist got to you. The energy of what I was saying got to you, and the energy of the realization got to you. Essentially what happened though is a few months later, I'm kind of checking back with the people who do like the energy updates, and like they feel into the collective and where everyone's at, and they kind of say like, here's what you can expect this month generally energetically, or and situations in your life might play out according to those energies. Like if a theme is abundance, like all of a sudden, like according to where you're at, like you might receive a lot of money, or you might receive an abundance of love that month or something. Like it'll just play out manifest in different ways physically in your life. And but what I saw was kind of like broad spread today was like, you are the universe. It's like, or something about like not getting caught up in the waves of the ocean, or feeling lost at sea because you realize you are the sea, you are the ocean. I'm like, that sounds very similar to what I was getting like 3 months ago. And the point I'm getting to is where I'm at in my journey. And maybe those serve as really good reminders and things I can check back in and be like, okay, yeah, it's validation for where I'm going, what I got. And at the same time, it's kind of the universe showing me I can trust myself and the realizations I'm getting for where I'm at in my journey, and I can just keep going, and I don't have to look back, because I don't have to look back at what they're posting. And sometimes it might be wise to check back, and sometimes it might be wise just to trust myself. And I'm getting it's more the second one, to trust myself. That's the more wise approach, is learning to trust myself. And I can just take the steps in my journey without having to check back and be like, am I on the right track? Do these people say I'm on the right track? It's more just like, yeah, I'm on the right track. I'm getting the realizations I need. And I know or my soul knows where I'm going. I'm the universe, so some part of me knows where I'm going. I'm just going to trust that what I'm getting right now is accurate and for my highest good, and the exact right direction for me. And it's interesting because I think we all have that capacity, and we all are kind of getting the thoughts and downloads and realizations we need. And it's okay to trust them where we're at in our journey. And just because the other people out there, the spiritual people or otherwise, the self-help people, aren't talking about it yet, or haven't talked about it, doesn't mean it's not valid. It doesn't mean you're not on the right track for you. And whether you feel like you're ahead or behind, it's for me, I'm just keep realizing maybe I'm a little bit ahead of the curve, or at least for my journey, what I need. It's like, it's not always what's out there for everybody else. And it's and that's okay. That's awesome. It's just I need to learn to trust myself more at that point. And I think everyone does, because a lot of the times the messages out there aren't exactly the messages you need to hear for where you're at in your journey. whether that's ahead, behind, or sometimes even if it's meeting you at just the right time. Sometimes you have additional points of view or downloads or realizations that give you a fuller picture of what you actually need, as opposed to like a little snapshot from something someone said. Though I do feel everything's very synchronistic, and you're kind of getting the messages you need all around you all the time anyways, on top of what you're realizing. But all that to say, the gist is you already know where you're going. At least some part of you does. Your soul, your heart, your higher self, your guides, whatever resonates with you, whatever you work with best, you know where you're going, and you know what's best for you. And you can trust yourself because you already have all you need. And there was another point I wanted to talk on really briefly, and that was about, it's more on the energetic side, like crystals and tools. And another thing I've been getting shown, or even realizing slowly, or I already knew and I was just kind of putting it off because I love those things and I think they're really fun, is you don't need them. Because if you think about it, if you are the universe, if you are source, if you are God incarnate here, and we are all the ocean, as those memes were saying, then why do we need anything outside of ourselves? We don't necessarily, because it all kind of is us in a way, interestingly enough. And sometimes I think those things can be very helpful for where we're at in our journeys, like a crystal kind of comes to you at the right time, or another tool. And at another point, I think it's awesome to realize, like, I'm going to be totally okay without those things. Like, Buddha probably didn't carry around a bunch of, like, amethyst and quartz and labradorite and stuff. Like, I don't know if all those crystals and rocks had even been mined or found at that time in history, or, So it's like, you've got all you need already for where you're at. And all you need is already within you. All you need is already in your connection spiritually, because you are your connection, you are source, you are you. And there's no need to rely on anything outside of ourselves, either to show us where we're at, to show us, to tell us we need something or a certain thing, because we already know. We're already headed that direction. We're already being guided to what's best for us. And really, it's us learning to trust ourselves and what we're getting. Even if it seems odd, even if it seems counter to what some other people are saying, and maybe it's just you learning you know best for yourself. So that's the video. You have all you need. Go get them. Trust yourself. Whatever your tools are at the moment, your intuition, your channeling, you're talking to your guides, your synchronicity around you, whatever you're leaning on right now, whatever you're going with and what's working for you, trust yourself. Keep upgrading, keep shifting, keep on keeping on. You're doing great. Love ya.